Interesting. See exactly what happens in game number 2.
I've seen them all over the course of the season. Only Untara has not been spotted. I don't know what that means, but I always try to keep my intrepid reporter hat on and see who's here.
Yeah, exactly.
Peanuts in the back. As we focus on this game, Cuz still in the lineup like you mentioned. The Nocturne, well, we saw it left open once, and Griffin lived to regret that. Otherwise, on 8-12, it's been permanently banned.
Well, Sejuani's going to be the adaptation ban here from Kingzone on the red side, so denying that one away from Blank certainly has been his most successful champion, even though it's only a 50% win rate now, as Aatrox once again going to hit the bench. It was a blue side ban last time around for Kingzone.
Must feel pretty good for Kingzone to see SKT, the team that has flexed Aatrox, have to ban it. Ban comes through. Hans J stays undefeated for the 2018 season, as the Morgana, I think, will become more and more commonly that ban. You just see that the support pool, when you have a carry Morgana, is literally playmakers only, because it's all about packing up, leaving Morgana home, and going for some big plays.
Yeah, I just feel like one of the must bans is certainly that Morgana. Nocturne does feel like the other one as well, but it was banned on the blue side. Zoe going to be taken away from BDD.
See what's left after all of this. Game 1 draft was weird and wonderful. As we know, the Yasuo was banned by Kingzone in game number 1.
Aurelia as well, still left available.
Okay, so both
Talia
of them
going to be banned.
Yeah, Talia cannot be left open. SKT have already shown it in a multitude of roles. And Faker's even taken a bot lane. Seems like they're going to be happy with the Swain, who honestly was the furthest from a problem in game number 1.
Oh, hell yeah.
Good performance from Faker there.
In the mid game, I think he was about 3-0-6, having a brilliant game.
Do you first round Alistar is kind of my question, because I think SKT would definitely consider putting Bang onto the Swain, given that he's playing basically everything at the moment.
Do you get scared of a potential Taric E composition with the flexibility of the Swain on the map?
It's worth thinking about, and Kingzone were the first to visit the Zyra Conflex, and neither is banned, so we could see Blank and Faker lock that in. On the blue side, Camille, a very strong champion against any of the funnels. We saw KT win against the funnel comp with Score, just ulting the Kai'Sa at every opportunity.
Yeah. And with no Morgana there, it does feel like against these funnel comps it feels a bit better, but Shen is going to be locked away. Could be Khans, could be Gorillas.
The mind game is so real when you're on the red side and you can't just ban every funnel. It's a lot of, does this get beaten by funnel or not? And you kind of have to draft accordingly. As Kingzone to be respectful. Effort, we've seen as a playmaker really pop off. His Tahm Kench left a lot to be desired, but will be locked in again in game number 2.
Well, we'll see whether another Blitzcrank comes out and we give Khan the Shen on the top side. Faker now to pick the final one for this first round for SKT.
Do you consider Galio in this situation? I guess with Swain, no, but
Ezreal, another possibility here, unless you want to keep the Swain flex
Ezreal Tom,
available.
the Genji special, but I was thinking about the Galio. It'd be so good on Kingzone's side. They will take it and say, Galio, it's not going to be a support like we've seen from MVP. We have a Tahm Kench, so that's almost certainly going to be in the support role.
Yep.
The Swain bot lane is seeming likely, but Swain and Tahm Kench, not quite the same synergy as some other duos. Seems like BDD might be going to an old favorite, but he can't build the Banner of Command, so maybe he'll move away from the Vel'Koz. It's going to be the Anivia. You see Swain, you know the power of the wall. There's going to be a lot of these melee champions. Splitting them in half and focusing on one is a good way to go.
And look, SKT's comp is fantastic if you're going to be brawling in on top of each other. Hero's entrance as well as the Demon Flare availability from the ultimate out of the Swain just means that everyone on top of each other, lots of damage for SKT. What does BDD want to do? He wants to have a lot of damage in an area himself. Also able to wall people off.
You see the enemy lineup and you say, surely it has to be Swain or Galio, right, if you're BDD. This first round Anivia is usually pretty risky. Anivia ends up being a 5th round last pick on red side. We've seen flexes, but if they find a way to pull out an Anivia counter after already taking Swain and Galio, that would be very creative by the side of SKT.
Well, after game 1, I'm not doubting anything.
We definitely have eaten our words many times, so we just don't make strong statements
I feel like
anymore.
we ate our words in the last draft, like, once every round of picks was locked in.
I'm pretty full when it comes to cheese, and yet I'm ready for more Atlas at 8-12. I believe it's the first game of Anivia for BDD, so cool to see him on a new pick. Never really been meta in his time as a pro player. The Jace already banned by SKT. They don't want Jace wailing away on what looks like a top lane Swain, and apparently they believe that Kingzone has also been watching EULCS and Hanwha Life.
Yep.
They ban away the Donga.
Yep, the Donga gave it a go. Sangyun tried his best when we saw him give it a go, but Prey gonna go onto a champion that both him and Bang are very, very, very familiar with, the Ezreal.
Two people really good at keeping range now, the Ezreal and the Anivia. I don't want to get into the potential party going on with the Galio. All right, SKT, reveal yourself, as SpoTV might say. What we doing? So far, they would really like to fight in close quarters, and Darius also opts in heavily to the Anivia fun.
Yep.
So far, Anivia's looking like the god pick.
Yep, and it's already locked in. Papa. It feels like we have already been through a bit of a swap, and this was the key last pick, but no.
Can they find a Yasuo somewhere?
Where do you put it?
That's a good question.
Well,
Never been a problem before.
Yeah, but if there was a, you know...
We need a jungler. That's what we need. We need to find a jungler. It's a jungler that hard commits. They really need to find a way to get a conduit.
Good God. This is the most melee. We did have the Griffin versus KT series.
Remember, our #1 DPM champion because of this meta is Anivia, because everyone chilled on Kuro's ultimate for the better part of 400 years.
Yeah.
Speaking of living for 400 years, we might see a top lane Mundo coming out. All right, Mundo versus the Swain. Could be the top lane matchup. The Darius more likely. Darius is the lane counter to the Mundo, but Mundo can also play respectfully. Seems like top lane is going to be very respectful stuff from Khan. And BDD definitely primed for success on the Anivia.
Yeah, the Anivia does feel like the perfect pick, but we saw KT do fantastic things with the Tahm Kench Swain bottom lane. And now, how will Bang and Effort fare in the same position?
Surely SKT is packing up and diving Khan at every opportunity. That's the only way that this really works when you think about it. Bot lane is a different one. Not a lot of synergy for the Swain passive here. Kind of has to be his own passive usage, created with the Never move. We don't end up seeing anything creative in terms of swaps. If BDD can keep range, the wall should be insanely valuable in this game. Gorilla's got a playmaker. It's not quite the Morgana Blitzcrank lane, but the Shen can pack up and leave.
Yep. The thing I really love about this is that it's Kingzone with this... Oof. Always out in force, but this is a pretty good ward. That's getting a lot of value.
Most fans we've had in this stadium in a long while. We are completely sold out for many of our games, but when it comes to everyone needing to take their seat and watch the series, we've definitely got a big one here. Two biggest fan bases, SK Telecom T1 and Kingzone DragonX. Saw some Kingzone fans not happy to see their prized Peanut, who will not be playing in this series if we do end at game #2. But most of them are here to see Gorilla. Already picked up the MVP after game #1. That's a really good faker.
That is really cute. There's a lot of competition when it comes to the artwork
True.
so far today. Seen some amazing stuff.
I would, you could just freeze grab that comment, audio grab it, I guess, and talk about how much action there's been on the Rift as well. As
Shen really turned around his season. Nice work, Shen.
3-11 to 11-11.
Thanks, Lahens.
True. A lot of bans for the Shen as well in recent memory.
Yep. Last 2 games. In fact, every time in the last week, or on this patch, that Shen was available, they've won with it. Banned, they've lost. So I don't know what that tells us. Probably nothing, because I'm really good at stats that mean nothing, Papa.
Shen is a really happy thing for the Camille. The Camille Nocturne both love the Shen because you want to focus on damage, and that extra CC ability and shield is usually pretty useful that the Shen ultimate usually represents. So far, the Scuttles are being traded. 2 very strong jungle picks. We usually see the Sejuani farm till level 6, but Sejuani was banned this time. No one's farming, both of them. Very high gank pressure between Cuz and Blank this time around.
And I like what SKT did, making sure that they had Blank on someone with early pressure, because I just feel like if this composition gets to a point where they've fallen behind, Kingzone runs over the top, right? Like,
I think you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't with Blank especially, because usually we've seen him actually take level 6 junglers and path smartly and make a play or farm. Usually when you go as deep as a Xin Zhao, he hasn't been in pro play able to find the advantages when you need to. Get at advantage pre-6, so that's kind of the risk. In solo queue, he certainly has had some great passes of play. You remember back to 2016 Summer when he was the closer with his amazingly Sin win rate.
Yeah.
It was a different time, but when it comes to pro play, in recent memory, not working out.
Cuz now does have his hookshot on cooldown. Is Blank playing very aggressively. Moving up here towards the top side. Audacious Charge will be off cooldown relatively soon as Khan really not looking forward to getting dove, but that's level 4 available for Tal as he gets himself behind this turret. This is a difficult dive as the teleport is going to deter them. It's going to be cancelled.
That's actually a good cancel. We talked about bad cancels. It allowed Cuz enough time to be there. And now Cuz is here, but he's not full health.
Yep, well, really good use of the cleaver on the right target as Tal can't catch up, but he does flash. Apprehend comes in, that's first blood. He's going to get it with exactly the right part of his axe. And Tal, this is the better start.
Oh, the TP cancel was good. Faker really wanted this kill. They double down on picking it up, and when he teleports in, there's no escape possible. They're looking for a secondary kill, proxying the wave. How much can Camille really help with this?
Well, Khan's not even going to cancel. I thought he was going to as the taunt is going to come in. The hookshot's good, though, but massive damage under this turret. Faker tanking this one up. I don't know whether they're going to be able to do this without sacrifice. Oh, my God, the minions. As Tal picks up the kill, BDD slowly flapping his way up here. But this ain't a bird of prey, this is a bird of farm.
Super outroamed, and then the decision to complete the teleport was probably a poor one, you'd have to say, from Cuz. And Khan, as a duo, they have to be talked about together because that would have been the communication happening from Kingzone. We knew this would happen. It was exactly set up. When you pick Mundo into Xinjiao, Darius, and Galio, the top lane dive is going to come early. We couldn't have done 2 kills pre-4 minutes. But the pace definitely suits SKT.
That's a 3-0 Darius. His prey's going to get eaten. That's a very aggressive devour, but it's a good flash, a sneaky one to get him out the wrong side. He's going to have to go on the mad dash to escape this one as Bang not taking too much damage. He ain't deterred as Prey does find the arcane shift.
Galio's going to get the kill.
Yeah, well, Faker, he turns up and... hello, wins the war, that's going to do it. Okay, Faker picks it up. It was comical, but they do get it in the end.
Seeing Cuz try to close in, there's a lot of SKT people here.
Yeah, hookshot's going to land. Good layering of CC there as Blank may actually fall down here. Oh no, the Devour comes in. Oh no, never mind. He ate nothing. It's just the corpse of Blank as Cuz trying to run away, but I've seen this one before. Vision of Empire comes down. Good stun from Faker as hookshot comes in. They're going to trade places. Gorilla comes back down, but I just feel like there's been too much work done already by SKT.
It's apparently not the champions, it's the players that lead to the bloodbaths we've been seeing in this series so far. I definitely take your point with the first round buy from Darius, the classic Merc Treads executioners at 4 minutes.
Yeah.
He just dumpsters Khan.
Well, that's dead Khan.
Yep.
Under the turret.
You know? There's nothing you can do, apart from maybe not have teleported so optimistically earlier. This gets completely creamed.
Well, Cuz comes up and says he'll try his hand now that the ultimate is on cooldown. It's not feeling like a great time for anyone who's a Kingzone fan.
And Khan went full Dade on this one. Dade, the former mid laner of Samsung Ozone and Samsung Blue, who was known to self-counterpick in the mid lane, Twisted Fate into hard matchups.
He did only have about 3 of an effective champion pool.
Yes, and he was good at those picks, but man, would he be liberal in self-counterpicking.
Oh yeah.
The Mundo against this comp, and just the lane is hard, this comp is death for Mundo pre-multiple items, and, you know, with this sort of a start, who's to say he's going to get them?
I don't know whether he's going to get another Ruby Crystal, Papa. Like, Mundo is having the worst possible time. 58 CS to 19. I mean, we need a better word than anemic.
The other problem to me is, what is the point of the Mundo in team fights? He actually has no one to run at. Everyone on the side of SKT ignores him and dives further.
And wants to be ran at.
Yes.
Definitely.
Gotta say, this Mundo pick is a bit of a stinker.
Yep. Well, Faker's going to be able to get an easy blue buff. SKT with all of the control of the map. Often, it largely stems from up here. Even more items being picked up here from Tal. Wants his Phage to head towards that Trinity Force, the first proper item.
Wait and see if Khan can ever auto-attack a minion, because if he does, he's in apprehend range.
Yeah. It's just not a good time. This Faker is looking to add insult to injury. control ward is in that brush, though. He's going to find out based on the fact that his ward's useless. Yeah, Tal wasted some time putting down a control ward.
You need so many levels to get through this lane now. You need level 11. Big problem is that if you ult, you're closer to dying to the dunks. So.
Yeah. What's the answer? I just don't even know.
Stopwatch doesn't really work because you don't actually cancel the ultimate. You can use it again freely as the Darius.
Feels like 600 gold that he didn't want to spend either. Thankfully, he got that one for free.
It is a stopwatch meta in Korea. We've had Afrika yesterday take full stopwatch teams. So definitely seeing 5 to 7 pretty commonly. With the 8-minute reign-in from the old 10-minute timer.
Yeah, Khan is just going to be throwing these briefcases over and over again.
He's in the good old 3 out of a minion wave is pretty good situation.
I'm glad he's on the phone. Hopefully he's talking to his mom, you know, saying, I'm just having a really bad day today. I really wish that something would change.
Khan's English has improved since the last time I spoke to him.
I translated. Yeah. Just for everyone playing at home.
Well, BDD would really like this game to go a long time because around him, lots of bad things have happened.
Well, I mean, Froggen was here in Korea, playing in Korean solo queue, so certainly would understand, because he was definitely very good at extending games.
Does Tal try to turret dive the Mundo is a question that we will have to consistently reevaluate.
Right now, he's just waiting for the minions to take down this turret.
That's a pretty big number.
Yeah. Blank's going to turn up. He's going to find himself control ward, and now not a lot of opportunities here as Prey just wants to thin this wave as much as possible.
With this sort of pressure in the bot side, Gorilla can't even pack up and try to leave the Mundo. Probably will just lead to a double kill, so maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that just sounds like adding to dinner. It's not so good. Cuz is going to be able to take the Rift Scuttler. See whether the Herald is actually an option here. It could be pretty greedy, given the fact that they're definitely losing on this side of the map, and the Onivia was back in base, but with no vision. Looks like the trade will be Shelly for a Dragon.
Vision's the important word. They did see Blank earlier around the bot side, so they know that SKT is trying to set up a dive. So Prey and Gorilla, who are reunited after one game off, will try and make a play together. Baker's checking the Rift Herald.
Hopefully Cuz will be able to take that one down.
Collects.
Doesn't collect it, and thankfully the taunt runs out as he gets over. Dragon is going to go, but now Tal's gatekeeping.
You do not walk past this man. This man definitely defends a Rift Herald.
Oh my god, they're going to jump in. Hero's entrance will come down onto Tal, though, and they have to kill him if they want this fight. The Devour is there, but is the Darius going to die in his belly? It's a good two-man taunt from Faker, but now finds himself in amongst 4, and he is going to go down. BDD grabs that kill. Tal somehow survives off the back end, but no way he can get back into this fight. And I don't know how they did it, but Kingzone make it back in, and now it's the Thunderdome with the wall being set up. Blank comes down, does have the stopwatch.
Bang!
Oh, in comes Bang right into the backline with the Swain. Kingzone look like they will be able to make it out, though, as Khan's got some well-aimed briefcases to keep them all alive.
Didn't they could disengage that easy, and the disengage still going on.
Oh
Tal's
my god,
here.
yeah, the teleport's going to come in from Tal as Kuz just wipes out effort. Faker comes in as well. He used his teleport. Where's the yakety sax, Papa?
No one from Kingzone died.
I don't understand.
All right, you hold on to your voice there, Atlas. You're already getting a bit hoarse. Sorry, Hekura. But in this particular series, that was a big play for Kingzone to try to salvage. Remember, they were staring down no Rift Herald, a bot lane that was basically free low for the Darius. Games have been remade for less than that, but in this particular one, they go in aggressively, they pack up with the Shen, Swain teleports out, Ezreal stays, and through all of this, no one from Kingzone dies, and you see the value of the wall, and it's the full committal comp from SKT. Every time it comes down, it feels like an ultimate.
It does. And it would have been such a different story if BDD had any mana to speak of at all this fight.
The briefcases also made Bang a bit comical because in the previous game, the Herald of Death was Swain ultimate, here just expertly kited. But I imagine Bang has many less games into Swain than Faker does.
Yep, it's the wandered out of strategy.
But for them to get 2 kills and for Ezreal to just chill bot lane the entire time, very good news, but the invades will continue.
The
Still
good
a
news
slender
may
gold
be
lead.
stopping as BDD, he really wants some mana. He's not going to get it. The back is going to come in from Cuz. Confirmation that he did manage to pick up that Rift Herald.
It is insane that King Zone have found gold parity in a game that seemed done.
Yeah, it was. I was pretty much setting myself up for Game 3, Papa. I definitely was, because Khan was having a real rough time.
It was like a world record Darius being fed situation.
Yeah.
He was so insanely powerful. Still is.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't able to make much happen. They lost summoners. Oh, Faker's Justice Punch was, rudely interrupted.
Not a lot of justice there. It doesn't get the stun, so not a lot of damage coming in, but Faker, of course, not going to take too much. His Catalyst is pretty useful.
I don't know about this one, cuz. I don't know about this one.
All right. Well, Khan does.
They have Shen ultimate.
Yep. Are they actually going to invest it? Good hook shot. The Apprehend's going to get 2. Ultimatum coming in there, and King Zone, they're going to have 3 top lane and some possibilities on the turret with the Rift Herald.
They actually were able to juggle that pretty well. Not enough in an item lead onto the Darius to make it happen. The Rift Herald might end the laning phase. Khan says, thank you very much. 13 minutes too late, but I'm going to get out of this lane. Begin getting out of lane. Prey is forced away from the turret, but the tempo trade definitely goes the way of King Zone.
Yeah. And that is a lot of money now in their hands as well, as you're exactly right. First turret blood going down to King Zone in this trade of turrets.
Shelly's going to get a lot of work done.
Oh, just going to boot this one as well. Massive minion wave, as Faker doesn't have a heck of a lot of AP. Just very, very early in its lifespan, Rod of Ages.
Somehow, King Zone has a gold lead after just the most one-sided early game.
This is literally one of the weirdest series I have ever been a part of, but I am so glad I have. You know, it's one of those sort of stories.
Excuse me, we're in Korea with the 2 teams that have representatives from every single LCK title from 2015 spring.
The most serious game of League of Legends,
we have
obviously.
the biggest fiesta possible.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
How many legends does it take to be on the Rift to get kill-a-minute action? Apparently, it's 10.
Apparently, yeah. As many as possible. In fact, the highest possible number. Oh, God. Okay, well, Bang's going to be able to clear up this minion wave, so this bottom outer turret isn't going to go down. King Zone bottom lane are busy taking a gromp, as you can see. Still, Prey wants to build towards his Trinity Force.
Thanks on awards, so that means that they are able to push up in other lanes and areas around the map. Galio Hero's entrance, not been as powerful as Galio's just straight up TP roam earlier.
Yeah.
Mundo somehow within 1,000 gold, which, given the situation, is pretty good.
Pretty good? What do you mean? It's amazing. It's completely unheard of.
The charmed life of Dr. Mundo.
Yeah, the charmed life of Khan, man. Oh, man, that was the worst possible start ever. And then he repeats his shenanigans with the survival somehow on 0 health from game 1 to find relevance in this game where he should have been basically a cannon minion at best. Blanky's going to walk past, understanding now that there wasn't really anything there, but it was a gorilla that just barely escaped.
Where to now for this series? Here's what I'll say about SKT's comp. They still have very big power right now. They can still wombo super hard. Galio in the mid game we know all about. The problem for them is if there's ever a juncture in the game where all the flashes are used, the wall just wins the game straight out. As Khan's actually running at Tal.
Well, he may have started a little bit too early here, but Tal's actually not. He's probably taken too much damage. Oh, that taunt was absolutely amazing on the Bang, but Tal does go down into his stopwatch. Khan is going to be able to grab that kill, and Gorilla doesn't care about the passive at this point. King Zone have won themselves yet another battle, and Cuz still wants more. Effort not going to find the tongue lash as Gorilla gets never moved out of his taunt. Picks up his sword and he's going to be okay. B2D says, Blank, get the hell out of my lane. It's a lot of damage to come in, but the ultimate's going to help him.
Tal was too tunneled on the 1v1. Used his flash really for no benefit at all. He was never getting away from the top lane party that King Zone had invited him to. The wall with the flashes down is going to be just disgusting, Atlas, as the game goes on. Total damage dealt. It's led by Mundo. Can we just nerf Mundo? Like, what's this all about then? How does he have the most damage dealt?
I don't know.
In case you guys are wondering, it's because Briefcase doesn't scale on anything and does actually always pretty decent base and relevant damage. So it's because he's just accidentally hit the Darius with... You know what honestly happened? Darius would try to zone last hits by standing in front of the Briefcases. That's why. Yeah. It's actually the least relevant total damage dealt.
However, still hilarious that we had The Mundo that was 9 to 32 and 3 kills Darius.
But think of the total damage he dealt
Look
Atlas.
at all of his total damage. He's so relevant. This is him on the graph at the end of the game saying, guys, I totally didn't almost lose you the game at 2 minutes in.
Well, it won't be on the MVP interview. I think this one he's not going to pick up.
Hey, it depends. If they still manage to win after that, I'd give him an MVP.
Oh, take a bit of a breath. We've had thrill a minute, laugh a minute League of Legends in this particular series. Rod of Ages ticking up on many people. No Rod of Ages for BDD. A lot of people skipping this item on Rise, and now we're seeing it skipped on the Anivia as well. To be fair, should be outranging the enemy team, so maybe you don't need help. Well,
Cloud Drake will be going down. Some information gained with that wall coming in there, but SKT going to have full control of the bottom side. River, that is because a lot of members were top side. Gorilla and Frey were just shoving that one through. Trinity Force pretty much about to be picked up, waiting in the shop here for Frey.
Really interesting to see where BDD's build goes. I guess you need Morel and Omicron because it's Swain on the other side.
Yeah.
Ludens would do, not Ludens, Liandry's would do a lot of damage.
I feel like Liandry's is the optimal pickup if you just want to do as much damage as possible. Try and catch up to Khan.
I think maybe both could be considered.
Yeah.
Oblivion Orb, Haunting Guys, all of the things.
Yep.
Wait and see. Two items on Prey. Know all about those two items. Not going to explain them again.
Yep. Did actually just pick them up though, so it's relevant to talk about the Power Spike with the Trinity Force and the Manamune, soon to be Muramana.
Does walk up. He's going to get caught here.
Yep, and he's not going to be able to get out, I don't think, as the ultimatum does come in. Maybe I tell a lie. There's the stopwatch. True Shot Barrage comes in. Cuz still alive somehow, but the flash from Faker is going to seal his death. And a second. That was just biting off more than he could chew. I was about to sing the praises of Cuz, and then he throws himself at SKT.
Big positioning error from BDD. He's down for 29 seconds. SKT wishing the game was 20 seconds later. They might start the Baron anyway. They're already in position for it. BD has teleport. Cuz would not. No smite. They're going to go for the Baron.
Yep, there's not a heck of a lot of damage here. A bit of zoning being done from Kingzone as well.
They should know that SKT are most likely looking for the turn. Speaking of turns, Tal on the backside.
Yep, Khan's in here as well, as they do get the pullback onto Gorilla. Taunts his way out as well, as they do try and turn in on this one. Devour's not necessary as the Winds of War pick up the kill, but now can the chase actually come in? The pullback onto Prey, but he's getting a lot of shots across. Teleport from BDD as he's home guarding his way in.
Where's
Can the wall actually grab them? The kill, Justice Punch denied as Prey picks up the kill. And now Blank trying to run away from the briefcases and will be able to. Speaking of denial, no Baron available for SKT, but is it there for Kingzone? Was it all a cunning ruse?
No, but it might be turned into an advantage for Kingzone. They've got a lot more Baron damage. Here comes Sinjao.
And a lot more tank as well, as Khan can just set himself up. Yeah, a poor man's Weaver's Wall comes in as BDD sets that one up. Baron over to Kingzone. They look like geniuses after they just looked like idiots.
I think you just summarized the series, especially this game.
Oh, that's my favorite.
This game is Atlas in a nutshell, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, they are just going to empowered recall themselves back to base. Trinity Force completed for the Camille. She's absolutely huge.
And if I'd like to point one thing out, Anivia Wall actually lasts the same amount of time as the Weaver's Wall after the nerf.
Yeah. 5 seconds.
Sick ultimate. It's not, you said budget. It's full price, baby.
Oh, it is now.
He just gets a discount. He gets it on a W.
You just didn't know that Talia's Weaver's Wall is also a budget Weaver's Wall now.
Oh, that's true. Aatrox and Talia, so sad. Depressed about their former selves.
Yeah, very, very depressing. However, I'm not depressed about this video game. I feel like Prey is just... He's sitting in amongst all of this craziness going, well, I'll just farm and I'll just get myself to 3 items and then I'm going to try and win the game. Much like game number 1 on his Xayah.
Weavers. Weavers. The Anivia Wall is just going to be the most disgusting thing in this game.
Well, Faker having to deal with Cuz with a newly formed Trinity Force, but he's going to get taunted. There's the ultimatum. Heroic Entrance is interrupted, and he picks up the kill. Cuz is a god. He had the help of Gorilla, of course, with the Stands United, but Faker was just straight up baited. Now the rest of Kingzone turn up, and SKT are without their mid laner.
Cuz plays this Camille so recklessly. Just keeps diving in.
He's made to look like a genius
That's
somehow,
what happens
though.
when you have a Shen. Nocturne Shen, Camille Shen. The duo there is where the power comes from, because you can make boneheaded plays, and they're actually genius.
Oh my god. Well, can it even be a boneheaded play if you manage to get the perfect result from it?
It turns out if you win, it was calculated, and if you lose, it's hilarious.
Yeah. And really dumb. And why did they do this? Oh, they're so stupid. Otherwise, this is the most incredible League of Legends outplay I've ever seen in my entire
Peanut's
life.
looking at Cuz and being like, I could have Rambo'd like this.
Yes, he definitely is. Well, Faker now stuck underneath this turret. Another wall set up. He's just too big to get past it.
Can SKT get value from Darius this game? Because he still has a hell of a lot of items. Not as many as he should, but still plenty. He's got most of the gold. The wall is not going to actually completely stop Faker.
Well, he's just going to stand there and taunt, but they are going to be able to get it.
It was WMAX second, which has gone through different metas, but obviously in this game you want the most and biggest walls possible.
Oh, this tower not going to go down. The top inner still remains as well. Not exactly the greatest of siege compositions from Kingzone, but when it's against entirely melee, I have a feeling that it feels like a god composition for sieging.
We have had the most melee champions ever today.
Yeah.
Range spin at a premium almost every game. Had 10 melees in one game, maybe the first time ever in pro play. Our first series, Kingzone push up, about 15 seconds of Baron left.
Yep, and not a lot of options. As you can see, SKT just scrambling for any ability to defend these turrets. Looking for an engage opportunity with that group up, but Kingzone not biting off too much. And we've got 5 seconds until this Mountain Drake comes in, and Kingzone will be able to take that one for themselves. At the moment, it's looking like a 2-0, but it's also been the silliest series of our lives. So I honestly don't know what could happen. SKT still have that let's run at everyone and see whether we can kill them style composition. However, they're against an Anivia, and if BDD is there, it's going to be real tough.
It's in a 5,000 gold Baron buff power play earlier. This is a 9,000 plus gold. Again, if you're joining us late, that is just how much gold was claimed, not how much more than what SKT was able to claim. Not a power play. We should probably ask for power plays, they'd be cooler.
Yeah.
But no power plays in the LCK, just plays, I guess.
And I guess if you put it into context, you know, one of the biggest ones we saw was around 10K, so this is a good one.
Oh yeah. Bigger is better.
Yep.
In most metrics.
However, what is big, I guess, is the question to ask. When it was 5,000, this one was 10,000, this one's a good one. So there you go. Frey clearing out this minion wave pretty happily. He's got his Blade of the Ruined King on the go. Probably wants to complete those boots eventually. He's got the free ass ones, but wants to get some more.
Merc Treads, I guess. So much magic damage. We could understand Tabbies as well.
Yeah, I feel like Merc Tread's a genius this scenario, given the fact that if he gets pulled back by the Swain or taunted by the Galio, things are really bad. However, I guess if he's in that position, he's probably dead.
Problem for SKT is they've never been able to have someone other than Faker draw aggro. The Darius in the early game, but that's a while ago now. The game has just happened around Bang. Secret Agent 004. He's on the Swain who can take over teamfights, but he either gets walled away or it happens on the other side of the map. There's been no flanking opportunities because everyone's just Rambo ganking with ultimates and globals. So the Swain is free farmed and doing just fine. Well, for mostly a middle of the teamfight build, sadly has never found the middle of a teamfight.
Yeah, and I think that the way they win a fight is by everyone flashing the, you know, low cooldown wall from an Anivia.
But the problem is then everyone from Kingzone flashes away, and then there's still the same problem.
Oh yeah, I never said it was a good thing. It's just that that's what feels like the reality is. I just feel like wall is the most busted ability, like you've been talking about.
When Swain, Galio, and friends rock up, yes.
Yeah.
SKT have literally the comp counted by Anivia. And it was a first round Anivia, so there could have been adjustments, but we didn't see them.
Where was the Lux? You know? She don't care about no wall.
We know where the Doma was on the bench, sadly.
Yeah. Bench the Doma, that's the problem.
Now, all these comp things shouldn't have mattered because there was a 4-0 Darius.
Yeah. Let's take a minute to discuss how this game began, I guess.
Let's talk about a different game where the Darius kept winning and then Galio ulted him when he got 1v3'd and he got a triple kill because he was so far ahead.
Well, literally should have been that game. That is what was foretold in the first 3 minutes. We saw it all laid out. However, didn't matter. Cuz went for the Ultra Rambo play, and it paid off. Hookshot gets him out of the way as Baron is up in 20 seconds, and SKT have brute forced themselves some vision around the area.
Just an AP build from BDD, not going to be going for something like the Yandries with Merlinomicon into soon-to-be a Death Cap. Again, DPM going to be very high for this Anivia.
It's a hell of a lot of AP as well, with Seraphs and Rabadons being such a great combo for just getting flat numbers. Has that Merlinomicon there as well, which has a fair bit in its own right. We've got the fully stacked Rod of Ages coming in from SKT's AP carries as well. So Bang and Faker will be doing some work as they have about the same amount of gold, but it's less than that of their counterparts on Kingzone.
Darius has 100 more gold in the window.
That might turn around, I think.
To say the plans were dashed from the early levels is putting it nicely.
Yeah, Tal's feeling like everything went wrong and he's wondering what it was. I just feel like, you know, this 8-game win streak for Shen, now LCK players really figured out that Shen is pretty damn strong, because he started off with a pretty horrific win rate because that laning phase wasn't looking so good, but now it doesn't really matter about the laning phase. Got through it with Prey.
Ezreal and Morgana, definitely best friends of the Shen support for the I'll just be safe over here, you go do your thing.
Yep.
There's the Sweet Hat coming through. We're sitting on 534 AP at 29 minutes. And the Magic Resist purchases are minimal.
Well, Sorcerer Shoe's going to be doing a bunch of work alongside that Merlinomicon. BDD going to make a very, very confused blue buff that was standing on his spawn location, but still reset.
Game is slowed down a little bit. Had to at some point. Kill a minute pace. It's been slowed down. SKT controlling the Rift Scuttle. Means the Baron control means a lot less for the side of Kingzone.
Gorilla going to book it out of that Baron pit. As Cuz being down here, he's looking for Tal to try and get themselves the Baron play.
So why is this play working? Why are we seeing so many plays where the Smite goes bot lane and follows the top laner? Atlas is because they don't have any Baron damage at all. That's why they can do this, is that SKT, if you have a marksman or a high damage mid laner like a Cassio, what do, right? You just take the Baron, it's free, the Smite's nowhere near. But in this sort of a game, when you see Galio Swain, you're just like, well, actually, we can make piggyback plays all the time, bring a third person down, why not bring Shen along and get free kills? And that's the cost of the comp from SKT. No Baron damage, so no threat from the side of SKT for that objective.
And they can just keep the waves being shoved in as well, so getting all of that extra information at the same time.
Whoa,
BDD just eats through them as, okay, Gathering Storm being picked up from Cuz, who played like the most reckless player in the history of the world, but I'm playing for late game, guys.
Ching, baby.
Don't worry.
Ching, ready to go.
As he is extraordinarily committed to this, as I say it. He starts backing. Tal's playing so respectful.
They have an insanely slow Baron, and then they get walled, and it screws their Baron. So they're just like, well, Camille can do whatever he wants. So Camille will finally give up, realize that Tal was not interested in giving away a third death.
BDD and Freya are on the same page. It's going to be a rough time as Faker throws out the taunt for Justice Punch. Now everything on cooldown. They are going to start this fight. Feels like the kind of fight SKT want. As Cuz right off to the side. Good wall comes in, but now they're just trying to take down the Mondo. Brilliant Never Move comes in onto BDD, and he's not getting any damage in here. Blank gets himself out alive as the Darius is going ballistic. It's a double kill already. Make that a triple as BDD has nowhere to run. Good stun comes in as Prey cleans him up, and now can he get the rest of them without the Darius? They just don't have a lot unless they pick off the Ezreal.
The double turnaround.
Now the egg's there, and Faker, he's not scared of no egg. That's a double for the king of the mid lane, and somehow SKT come out on top.
Execution on both sides was a little bit hasty, but in the end, Kingzone opted into the sort of team fight they denied from SKT for so long. Gets so much gold on the enemy side. Khan Rambo's in. They know the W is down from Faker for a long time, but they clump too much. Remember, BDD has almost no health to speak of. So he tries to get value, gets Swain passive to join in the middle of the fight. So ends up really not being able to contribute. The Darius gets the team fight he was ready for about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Walks up the triple dunk. They see that Prey is full health and he has a lot of cleanup to do. Not able to clean up though, he gets caught by the Swain.
Yeah, and the flash from Faker as well to deny that one just meant that he was straight up dead. Oh, so close on both sides.
Let's talk about the collateral, which is the summoner's use. Remember, that if Kingzone can get in position to 5v5, the wall is now basically dead.
Well, Effort has to get the Devour off, finds it onto Gorilla, very aggressively used, as he can dash his way out once it's off cooldown, but it's not going to be off for a very long... Okay, gets himself the shield. He will be all right. Okay, Cuz, he escapes as well, but now it has to be Stand... Oh, and the Stand United's now on cooldown, so Gorilla can't make his way back in very easily.
That was only going to be the big takeaway, is the fact that he would not be able to get there. For Anivia not to do the most damage in an extended team fight lets you know it was a positioning mistake from the side of BDD and Kingzone.
Well, I mean, his Glacial Storm was just never down as well, if you look back at the fight.
They know Shen can't be there. That's why you see SKT just putting down a couple of hits and seeing what shakes down from the tree and able to walk back. So won't end up being as costly.
All of a sudden, this game has gone from already very interesting to even more interesting as Kingzone fumble that last fight. As the dust settles, 5,000 gold is the lead. Still 3 towers in advantage of Kingzone, and Khan is going to be able to cleaver down or briefcase down this Ocean Drake to even out the Drakes.
He went very much into safety by finishing the Merc Scimitar. Last Whisper would definitely not go amiss this game. A lot of armor on the side of SKT. They're trying to ignore the Anivia.
Effort has to get himself out of the way, but I don't know whether he's skinny enough. He eats himself the grey health and is going to survive. Okay, Kingzone now with control of this Baron pit. True shot barrage.
It could still... Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, not happening. It's not even aimed at the fountain.
It's not onto the Baron. They have a very quick Baron here.
Yeah,
Jinjiao's
despicable down. Remember, they've also got the wall to set up, and this is just theirs. There's decent vision around, but Blank says, okay. Isn't going to be able to get it, as Faker at least steals the red.
Oh, no, it didn't go. Never mind. It looked like he got it.
This is ultimate running.
All right, Faker, got a red buff. That's something.
Congrats. That's not a Baron, though. And that one feels a lot better for Kingzone. Baron number 2 now utilized, and we'll see whether they can get the last few inner turrets and create a gold lead that isn't going to be able to be overcome.
Okay, deep breath. Where's the game at? We can talk about team comps. Again, if SKT can find a way to get on top of Anivia, to stop her from being free hitting, I think that's even higher priority than taking down Ezreal. That sounds like criminal, but it's easier to get to Anivia. Doesn't have the eminent mobility that the Arcane Shift provides, or the Procure Scimitar, so getting to Anivia should be priority number 1. If there's never a Glacial Storm, I think SKT can win team fights. It looks set up to be on the side of Kingzone. There's still no Last Whisper. That's going to be the next item, the Merc Scimitar. Not Merc, the Grievous Wounds, Armor Penetration, Mortal Reminder, Merc Scimitar on the mine will be the final item from Prey. That's maybe what's necessary on the side of Kingzone. Kingzone hitting multiple lanes. Gorilla can split push on the Shen just with the Baron buff.
Well, talking about items as well, I mean, a lot of the money for SKT is stacked on top of Tile, but Adaptive Helm is brilliant in this game.
Gorilla split push.
Oh, the classic split push. Oh, that's not the top laner, never mind. Inhibitor does go down, so base is broken, but Rabadon's death caps are so close for both Faker and Bang.
And then just one squish on the Anivia, she dies instantly, and maybe SKT win that team fight. So far, BD been up and down as they're looking for Gorilla.
Yep, trying to grab the top support player.
And meanwhile, it's definitely being enacted.
Yeah, and he's got his Stand United available, and they have to use all the global options that they have on the side of SKT. It's the Abyssal Voyage here from Effort to get them towards the bottom side. He's going to heat up this Baron-empowered Siege minion. And BDD just puts down a Glacial Storm. SKT cannot traverse it at all.
So many headaches. Mundo on the top side, still with the Baron buff for a minute. Shen can bring up the minions in the mid lane. The least conventional 1-3-1 ever, as the support and top laner are pushing.
Yep. And BDD having all of the zone control available. Bang having, feels like a field day.
Again, because they botched a team fight and flashes are up, there's a chance. This game should definitely be over, based on our expectation. And yet SKT could still buff one, but they trade flashes.
Yep, that is going to be Cuz jumping in there. Heroic Entrance is down. They're trying to keep Tile alive. He survives for a long time, but that flash was questionable at best. And now the sat isn't there for Khan. He ain't dying anytime soon. BDD keeps himself alive in the fight, and I feel like this is Kingzone really laying the hammer down on top of SKT. Cuz even able to go into his stopwatch as they're relegated to their fountain flank. And Faker now just waiting for the inevitable as the 2-0 for Kingzone. The bounce back after the loss against Griffin is complete.